Your spirit, the willpower is your immune system. Okay? I can't just be going and beating up, getting beaten up by thousands of competition materially and whatnot and socially, and then you feel like a failure. That is the key to you. That means you have to do something else that you can be successful in it. That is a spiritual ground, based on what Baha'i says, scientific way, okay? Don't go to this hocus pocus of this new age and whatnot. I'm not going to mention them with their names. So that's one of the mechanisms and the solution. So we found out what to do with that. This addiction, I've seen, continues in the relationship. You've heard it a lot of time in the Western society that I remember in 1984 when I came to this country, it mostly happens to the women. Women in abusive relationship, the husband is either an alcoholic or a violent person, beats the woman, and the police, they beg her to charge, but she should have, but she didn't, for whatever reason she had. After sometimes she actually gets addicted to it. She likes it, just like a smoking. First time you hated it, you had to do something about it. You didn't. You let it to happen, kept it happening. Now you're addicted to this abusive relationship. It has happened in my lifetime. I've seen thousands of times. The woman goes there to the police station. Her face is beaten up, her body, all kind of things. But finally, she does not charge the man. Somehow feels pity for him. This type of addiction comes in the form of pity. You feel pity. You think you're forgiving that person or feeling pity for him. But actually, you're addicted to it. And he's controlling your system. How you have to do this, again, in this case, you have to cling to the others' people willpower. You have to use the group. The healthy society, which Baha'is are, if you associate with them more and more, you gradually, your deregulations of your mind, your criteria and everything else, sending you wrong messages, it will come to order. And as their character associate with you, same thing, osmosis pressure from them comes into you gradually. And then you come to your senses and you find out you're in an abusive system and you get out. This has happened, this kind of abusive system, at a larger level, comes to third world countries. Where a dictator is there. Definitely everyone knows that this guy is crazy, but somehow they can't get together to get rid of him. It's because they're addicted to the system. They have learned to adapt to the abuse, and that's addiction. This is how the big dictators in the Middle East or other parts, they've been ruling people, and they are right now too. By the order of fear. Hitler was definitely one of them. He totally enchanted and enamored, make the people of Germany at one time addicted. It's like amazing that every individual Iranian that I know are very smart. But collectively, they're amazingly stupid. It's like a jigsaw puzzles. Whenever you put them together, it turns into an Ayatollah. So individual pieces in this jigsaw puzzle, they're not even aware. If they get together, an Ayatollah comes out of them. That is, a dictator comes out of them. It's because of their minute mistakes in their behavior they have. every one of them is a little bit dictator. And then when they get together, thousands of dictators, a huge dictatorial, big, collective forms. And somebody sits on the top and beat the hell out of everybody else too. And finally, one of the hugest and most amazing addiction at a larger level is addiction to religion addiction. Oh my God, this is so amazing. I've seen it everywhere. Even among the Baha'is. This is a real bad one. Just as I explained last night, the food expired, you eat, you die. Or you don't die, you create some kind of immunity to it, but it deforms you. It's like some of these fictional movies that some things comes in town, some virus that kills everyone, and those who are left, they're deformed into some kind of a vampire. It's the same with the case with the addiction in the religion. Well, it's expired. Many people, logically, they approach to it. They see this is outdated, so they become secular Muslims, secular Christians. They know they can't follow this religion. They just say we have no religion. But others, they push it into their system. Just like the guy who hated the smoking, but they pushed it in. Or an abusive relationship. So the guy he knows this type of going up and down in prayer. It's no good, gone. It's fasting. It's proven to him that the promised one has come. Religion has changed. He's all the reason in front of it. But he keeps doing it. You do become addicted. I brought you some example before. I said that what's the mechanism of fate? Any fate. Good, bad, wrong, satanic, any fate. You just have to overdo something that you don't like. In the case of wrong fates. I brought you an example that I'm going to hire a guy who is essentially an atheist. But I tell him, I'll hire you $50,000 a year, $25 an hour. Your job is 80 hours a day to go to this particular church. A total crazy church. Imagine one for yourself. Which one? And you have to go in the church, listen to what they're saying, and bring back and report it to me. If these guys who doesn't like to do this, he should not do this, keeps doing this for a year or two, then I tell him that's it. Job is finished, you go. What happens? The guy goes back to church again. Because he's addicted to it now. Because he should have not done this. He forced himself into it. Now, his spirit, soul, nothing can tell him, let go of it. It's exactly what happens in the case of the religion. How can you go sacrifice your life, die, and make others to die, and the name of God to preach to people that the women are half of the man? That's your teaching. That's your expecting that the people to see that you sacrifice your life. You died only to say that your sister is half of you, that your daughter is half of your son, that your mother is half of it. What kind of a belief is that? That the brain have been eating this spiritual food for thought expired. The man is poisoned in the brain, beyond poison, he's addicted. I swear to God, I've seen them. From 8 o'clock in the morning till end of the day, they keep cheating people. They do everything possible to get that dollar more. But at 12 o'clock, he has to attend to mosque to do his prayer. To what God? The God of addiction. Performance. A ritual that he's addicted to it. Is a total contortion of the truth, I would say. Completely mismatched. Ooh. And his conscience thinks that, oh no, I am praying, I'm fasting, I am going to heaven. And when you show him all other parts in the religion of Islam, there's thousands of it. There are so many sayings of Muhammad that religion and fasting are nothing. The worst thing according to him is hypocrisy. Many thousands of times he's given example. Of the people praying and fasting only for the other people to see them. To attract people. And to call that religion. And when they see a guy like me, tell them, look, these are the writing of Muhammad. That's what he says. They don't want to see me. They just don't want to see those part of the religion that it says, you know, honesty is the most important things, and cheating is so bad, and fairness and goodness. They don't want to hear those things. They just want to go on that prayer and fasting and go home, force your wife and bring the female down, and that is the religion of God. This is what Karl Marx says, opium. And this type of people, they all have their demagogue. They come in different type of forms. And this is the biggest cause of the problem right now in 20th century. These demagogues, false figures, you know, they're coming to in place of God. The man calls himself the successors of Jesus Christ, and he's dressing exactly like a clown. This pinkish robe, the color of the underwear. That's his robe. And he has this stupid things on his head. All the uniform. A theater. And people, they can't see that this is so false. None of it goes with what Jesus says. But they're addicted. I don't care. Let me say that in defense of the one that I attacked in the Christians and Muslims, I've seen the same exactly in Hindus. You gotta go to India to see it. Want to say addiction? Go there. The Baha'is are not immune of it. They have done some pretty damn strange things. Is that when you believe something and you have no reason for it, you are addicted to it. That is when I told you last night, Baha'u'llah says, religion has to be according to science and logic. It is not, it's mere imagination. Tell to the guy, why are you Baha'i? He has no reason. I'm talking Persians especially. He's so misinformed about everything.